In 1950, a scientist asked a question that changed everything. If the universe has billions of stars and planets, where are all the aliens? For decades, our most powerful telescopes have searched for signs of life in space. We sent messages, listened to the silence of the cosmos, and waited for an answer that never came. But here's the scary part no one expected. Maybe the aliens already know we exist. Maybe they've seen our wars, our nuclear bombs exploding, the way we destroy our own planet. Think about it. In just 200 years, we went from horses to spaceships. In 100 years, we created weapons that can destroy entire cities. If you were an ancient, peaceful alien civilization watching a young, violent species that keeps getting better at killing, would you come visit us or stay far away? Subscribe to the channel, leave your like and comment from what part of the world you're watching, because now I'm going to tell you everything. Have you ever stood outside at night and looked up at the sky, wondering if someone else is out there looking back at you? The sky above us is very big. It stretches in every direction and does not seem to end. Scientists call this space the universe. The universe is so large that no one can measure how big it is. There are many, many stars in the universe. When you look up, you can see a few with your eyes, but there are many more that you cannot see. Each star is like the sun, and many stars have planets spinning around them. Some planets could be big, some small, some hot, some cold. Some planets might have water or air or even life. People have wondered for a very long time if we are alone in this big universe. It is a simple question, but it is also a very hard question. If the universe is so huge, with so many chances for life to grow, why have we not found even one sign of another being from another world? Why does nobody answer our calls? Why do we not see any visitors from another planet? This puzzle makes many people feel amazed, sometimes hopeful, and sometimes confused. Long ago, people did not know how big the universe really was. They could only see the moon, the sun, and a few bright stars. They had no idea that there are millions and millions of planets and stars far beyond what they could see. As time passed, humans began to ask more questions, learn more, and make special tools to look at the sky in new ways. Today, we know that the universe is much larger than the minds of those early people could imagine. Now, scientists have very large and powerful telescopes. These telescopes are like big eyes that can look far into space, much farther than your own eyes. Some telescopes are on the ground, in high places where the air is clear. Other telescopes float in space, where nothing blocks their view. Using these telescopes, scientists can find new places in space that they never saw before. They look for stars and the planets that circle around them. Every time a planet is found, people feel excited. They hope, maybe this one has life. Maybe someone lives there. Discovering new planets happens all the time now. Some of these planets are very big and some are very small. Some are very close to their stars and very hot. Others are far from their stars and very cold. Out of all these planets, sometimes a few seem special. They might be not too hot or not too cold. They might be the right kind of place for water to flow. They might have air. These are the things scientists look for, because all life on our own planet needs water and air. Even with all these searches and with so many scientists working every day, still there is no proof. There is no sound, no picture, no message, and no visitor from another world. People are still searching, looking for even the smallest sign that someone else is living out there in space. Some people ask, with so many chances for life, why can't we find any at all? There are many thoughts about this big question. One idea is that space is simply too big. Imagine calling to a friend from very far away. It would be hard for your friend to hear you if you are shouting from one side of a city to the other, and space is much, much bigger than any city. If planets are very far from each other, messages or signals might not reach across all that space, or they might take a very long time to get here. Even when scientists use their strongest tools, it takes light a long time to move from one place to another. Light from the sun takes about 8 minutes to reach Earth. That is not very long. But light from the next nearest star takes over 4 years to reach us. Some stars are so far away that their light takes hundreds, thousands, or even millions of years to arrive. This means that if someone is sending us a message, it might not reach us for a very long time, or maybe it was sent long before we were even here. Another idea is that maybe life is rare. Earth is the only place that we know for sure that has life. Life could use very special conditions to begin and grow. Maybe all the right things must happen in the perfect way. The right kind of sun, the right kind of planet, not too hot or too cold, and the right kind of air and water. Even if there are many chances, maybe it is still very hard for life to start. Maybe it is so rare that it has only happened once in our whole galaxy. Maybe there is nobody else right now. Some people wonder if maybe life is out there, but it is hidden or quiet. Maybe some living things do not use the same kind of signals as we do. Maybe their signs are too weak for us to catch. Maybe they live deep under the ground or deep underwater where nobody could see or hear them. Or maybe they are too small or too strange to notice from far away. Life on other planets could look very different from life on Earth. There are also ideas that maybe some life is out there, but it is gone now. Our universe is very old. Stars and planets have been here for a long time. Maybe life started on other planets, but things changed there. Their stars grew too hot or too cold or ran out of energy. Maybe life ended before we had the chance to find it. Some planets might hold the traces of past life, but we have not seen them yet. People also wonder if maybe we are not using the right ways to search. Our eyes and ears have limits. Our machines have limits too. Maybe we do not know what to look for. Maybe we are looking in the wrong places or in the wrong ways. Perhaps there are signs all around us, but we do not recognize them as signals from other beings. Some scientists try new ways to search, always hoping for a clue or a new idea. Our searches are not only with telescopes. Sometimes scientists try listening to space. They use big dishes called radio telescopes to listen for any strange sounds or signals that do not come from nature. These radio telescopes are very sensitive. They can pick up whispers from very far in the universe. Scientists listen carefully, hoping to catch a sign that is not from stars or planets or galaxies, but from a thinking being. Even so, year after year, search after search, they find nothing that clearly shows other life. Each time a new discovery is made, a new planet, a strange sound, or a light in space, people get excited again. Newspapers write stories, and people talk about it with friends. But each time, scientists look more closely, and so far, each one finds a simple reason, not a sign of life. Sometimes a planet is not really the right kind for life. Sometimes a strange sound is just a star or a planet moving. Each clue fades away, and the great question remains. It is very important to remember how big space is. The stars you see in the sky are only a tiny piece of all the stars that are out there. If you could count every grain of sand on every beach on Earth, there are even more stars in the universe. Many of these stars have planets. Some planets are much bigger than Earth, and some are smaller. Some are very old, and some are just starting to form. With so much space and so many places where life could start, some people feel sure that life must exist elsewhere. They say, the numbers are too big for us to be the only ones. Other people are not so sure. They point out that we have searched for a long time and still we see no one and nothing. The silence feels strange to them. It makes them wonder if maybe life is not as common as we hope. The search does not stop. Every day, scientists all over the world use new tools, new ideas, and new hope to look for life in the universe. They build better telescopes. They send robots to new places. They watch for anything strange or different that could be a sign. They listen and look, always asking, "Is anyone out there?" The size of the universe also brings another idea. Maybe the problem is not about space alone, but about time. Maybe other life forms lived a very long time ago, and they are gone now. Maybe new life will appear far in the future, after we are gone. Maybe two forms of life are almost never alive at the same time. In a universe so old and so full, time may keep us apart just as much as distance does. Everything we know about the universe shows us that we are only beginning to understand how big and how strange our world and space are. There is much we do not know yet. Maybe life is out there, and we have not found it because we do not know enough. Maybe we will find it tomorrow, or maybe never. The only way to know is to keep looking, to keep wondering, and to keep learning. In the end, the big question stays with us. If the universe is so very large, if there are so many stars and planets, why have we never found even one sign of life? Why is it so quiet out there? Are we truly alone, or have we just not looked in the right way yet? For now, when we look up at the stars, we see only points of light in a dark sky. But each tiny star is a sun, and many have planets. Some of those planets might have oceans and air. Some might have life waiting quietly, just as we are, looking out into the dark and asking the same questions we ask. The search goes on, and the mystery remains. When people look up into the night sky and wonder if anyone else is out there, the next step is often to listen and search as carefully as possible. This is why many scientists spend their lives trying to find evidence of life beyond Earth. The search uses many different tools and methods. These tools help us to look and listen far into space. Each tool gives us a new way to look for something unusual, a signal, a sound, or a small clue that could show us that we are not alone. Scientists use very large telescopes to study the sky. Some telescopes are so big that they can see things that are extremely far away, much farther than any normal eyes could see. These telescopes can show us stars and planets that are not visible on a normal night. Scientists spend many nights watching the sky, hoping to see something new. Sometimes they see flashes, colors, or patterns of light that are different from what they have seen before. When this happens, they try to learn everything they can about it. They study the light, the ways it changes, and the time it takes to move. They want to know if it is coming from a planet, a star, or maybe even something alive. But looking is only one part of the search. Listening is just as important. Across the world, there are special places with very large radio dishes. These dishes are shaped to capture sounds and signals that come from space. When radio waves travel across the universe, they can reach these radio telescopes. The scientists sit at desks with headphones and computers, and they try to find sounds that are different from anything on Earth. These scientists listen for signals that have a pattern, a repeating beat, or a special kind of order. Nature makes a lot of noise in space, storms on planets, spinning stars, or exploding suns. But intelligent life could send a different kind of message. They hope to find a signal that means someone is saying hello, or giving information, or maybe just trying to make contact. Sometimes, scientists have heard strange signals. They study them, compare them, and try to find out where they came from. So far, every signal has had a natural reason. Nothing has shown that someone in space is trying to talk to us. There are many places where scientists work together in this search. One famous program is called SETI, which stands for the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence. Scientists in SETI use many radio telescopes to listen to different parts of the sky day and night every year. They record signals and use computers to search for anything that seems special. People around the world can even use their home computers to help analyze these signals, turning the search for life into a shared project. Listening is not the only way we search. Sometimes we send messages into space. These messages are simple and easy to understand. Scientists create short signals using radio waves. These messages tell someone out there about our planet, where we are, and what we look like. One famous message was sent in the year 1974 from a radio telescope in Puerto Rico. It had simple drawings and information about humans and Earth. Scientists did this with the hope that, if someone is out there, they could receive the message and maybe answer us someday. Besides radio messages, humans have also sent small machines and spacecraft into space. Some of these machines, like the Voyager spacecraft, carry special plaques and records. These hold pictures and sounds from Earth, like music, greetings in many languages, and drawings of our planet. The idea is that if any being finds the spacecraft, they would learn a little about humans and where we come from. Nobody knows if these messages will ever be found, but sending them gives hope and shows the wish to make contact. Another way scientists look for life is by searching for changes in light from stars. When a planet goes in front of a star, it makes the light less bright just for a moment. If a planet circles its star just the right way, we can see this change in light from far away. By studying these small dips in light, scientists can find new planets. Sometimes these planets have the right kind of distance from their star to have water and air. These kinds of planets are interesting because life, as we know it, needs water. Sometimes technology shows us things we did not expect. Scientists send satellites far away from Earth. These satellites take pictures and measure light, heat, and other signals. Technology has very powerful eyes and ears. It can look in places that are too far or too dark for humans. Sometimes machines find strange patterns, colors, or temperatures. Every new piece of information could be a new clue. Sometimes what looks strange at first is later found to be something normal, but the search continues and the hope stays alive. In recent years, new telescopes have discovered many planets outside our solar system. These are called exoplanets. Some exoplanets are very big, while others are small like Earth. Some are hot, some are cold, but a few are in just the right zone for life. When a new exoplanet is found, scientists look for signs of air, water, or other chemicals that life makes. For example, on Earth, plants and animals give off a gas called oxygen. If scientists find oxygen on another planet, it could mean something is living there. Along with all these searches, people keep their eyes on the skies. All over the world, people sometimes see lights or shapes that they cannot explain. These are called unidentified flying objects, or UFOs. Sometimes these turn out to be airplanes, weather balloons, or lights from Earth. Other times, nobody knows what made the lights. Even after many studies, there is no proof that these are really spaceships from another world, but interest in these stories keeps hope and curiosity alive. Scientists also try to copy the conditions of other planets in laboratories. They use special machines to make things very hot, cold, or full of special gases. They put different chemicals together and see what forms. By doing this, they learn if life could start in other places and what kind of life it might be. These experiments help scientists understand where and how to look for life. Some scientists explore planets inside our own solar system. They send robots to Mars looking for water, chemicals, or tiny signs of life. Robots also explore the moons of Jupiter and Saturn. Some moons are covered with ice, but scientists think there are oceans under the ice. In these dark, cold oceans, life could exist. Even a tiny single cell would be a great discovery. All these efforts, looking, listening, sending signals and machines, studying new planets and trying to make life in the laboratory, have one goal: to find any life beyond our world. Scientists pay close attention to even the smallest clue, the weakest signal, or the most unusual pattern. Everything must be checked again and again. They must be careful, because it is easy to make mistakes or to think something is special when it is not. One of the hardest parts of the search is being patient. Sometimes it takes years to study a single clue. Sometimes scientists wait for a long time for new data. Others spend their whole lives listening to space and never find what they hope to find. But people do not stop searching. Every answer, even a no, helps us learn more about our place in the universe. All this work has changed the way we see our own world. Long ago, people thought Earth was the center of space. Now, we know that Earth is just one small planet around one star in one galaxy among billions of stars and galaxies. Knowing this helps us ask better questions, use better tools, and search in smarter ways. It also makes many people feel humble, knowing just how big and full of secrets the universe is. While all this is happening, there is something else scientists and people think about. Earth sends its own signals to space all the time, every single day. Long before humans started to search for life, we began sending out radio and television waves without knowing it. Every show, every song, every message sent from radio towers moves into space at the speed of light. These signals have been leaving Earth for more than 100 years. If anyone out there is listening, they might hear our signals before we ever hear theirs. These waves travel very fast and very far. As time passes, more and more of Earth's history flows out into the universe. Some scientists believe that if there are aliens with sensitive tools, they could pick up these signals. Our waves might tell them what kind of people we are, how we live, and what our world sounds like. This might help them learn about us without ever visiting Earth. Sometimes scientists think about what kind of messages we should send on purpose. This is a big decision. Some say we should send messages that talk about peace, kindness, and friendship. Others worry that sending messages could be risky. They ask if it is safe to tell others where we are. Should we wait, or should we reach out to anyone who might be listening? Nobody knows the best answer, but the discussion continues. The search for life in the universe is a team effort. It is not just for scientists, but for everyone who is curious about the stars and planets. Even children can help by learning and watching. Technology allows people everywhere to join in the search, to listen from home, or to share new ideas. The search belongs to all people, and it is one of the greatest adventures that humans can share. New technology brings hope for future discoveries. Scientists are building larger telescopes than ever. Some will be able to see planets around other stars directly, to study their air, oceans, and even signs of cities or light on their surface. Others will listen for new kinds of signals that could mean life. Each new tool gives us a better chance to find what we are looking for. Every piece of information from space must be checked carefully. Scientists are very careful before they say they have found something new. They use many tests to make sure a signal or a picture is real and not made by human machines or by nature. If something strange is found, scientists talk with others all over the world to see if anyone else sees it. They work together because finding life in the universe would be one of the biggest discoveries ever made. Even after decades of searching, we have not found any clear sign of life from another planet. This does not stop the search. It only makes the mystery greater. People keep watching, listening, and hoping. Each year brings new discoveries. Even if these discoveries are not about life, they help us learn more about stars, planets, and the universe itself. Sometimes the search finds things that are surprising. Scientists have found planets made of gas, of rock, and even of diamond. Some planets have storms that never stop, or winds faster than any found on Earth. Others have temperatures so cold or so hot that nothing from our world could survive. Each new planet teaches us more about what is possible in the universe. The search for life is also a way to learn about ourselves. When we send messages, pictures, or sounds into space, we ask what is important to share about Earth. This helps us think about what it means to be human. The search also brings people together across countries and languages to work on a question that matters to everyone. Many people ask if we will ever find proof of life beyond Earth. Some say it will happen soon. Others think it may never happen. But all agree that the search is worth it. Each look, each listen, and each message makes our world a little bigger. It shows us that we are all part of a universe that is full of wonders and secrets waiting to be explored. The search has already shown us much. We know the universe is full of stars and planets. We know how to listen to signals from far away. We know how to send messages and robots across space. Even though we have not found living beings yet, every step brings us closer to understanding our place in the universe. As scientists keep searching for answers among the stars, our own signals from Earth keep moving outward, spreading our story into the darkness of space. Other beings, if they exist, might already be listening and watching just as we are. The search for life and the story of Earth go on together, connected by the hope that one day we may learn we are not alone. As more time goes by, the messages and signals that leave Earth keep moving deeper into space. Every single day, radio and television waves go out in all directions from our planet. They leave from very tall towers, from small devices, and from many kinds of machines. These waves carry information about many parts of human life. They include news, music, voices, and sounds from everywhere. People on Earth do not usually think about where these signals go. They go past cities, they cross oceans, and then they leave Earth in every direction. At the speed of light, they move out through the empty space between our world and all the stars and planets beyond. These signals do not stop. They travel on and on unless something blocks them. After some years, they travel so far that if there were someone out there with a strong enough receiver, they could pick up the signals. For more than 100 years, human signals have been traveling outward. The first radio waves that people sent have now passed over 100 light-years away from Earth. This means the very first signals are now further from us than nearly all the planets and even most of the stars we see at night. Every signal carries details about what was happening on Earth at the moment it was sent. Old radio waves might tell stories from the early part of the 20th century. Later waves might include music from the 1950s or television shows from the 1960s. Even today, thousands of new signals leave Earth every single hour. This unending flow of information is like a giant cloud, growing bigger every year, centered on our world and spreading ever wider in every direction. If there are other beings somewhere in the universe, they might be able to catch these signals. Their technology would have to be strong, because as the signals move farther and farther from Earth, they get weaker. Most signals soon become very hard to notice. Only very advanced listeners with better machines than we have might find them after many light years. If a faraway planet has people or creatures who are curious like us and who are watching closely, they could learn a lot about Earth simply by listening. Every kind of message that leaves Earth might mean something to a watcher. They might hear our languages and songs. They might listen to stories or speeches. They could even hear important events, celebrations, or difficult days. In this way, the whole story of our world is slowly moving through space, one wave at a time. Aliens, if they exist, would be able to know what humans talk about, what worries us, what makes us happy, and what our dreams are. Our planet does not send only one story. It sends every story, every day, all mixed together, forever moving away from Earth and into space. Scientists often discuss what aliens might think if they catch these signals. Would the aliens understand our words or our music? Would they be able to guess what the pictures mean? If the signals are too weak, they might only catch some strange sounds. But with advanced technology, they might even see the pictures from old television shows. They could see what Earth looked like 100 years ago or 50 years ago, depending on how far away they are from us. To them, looking at our signals is like looking back through time, seeing each year of Earth's story from far away. Besides normal daily signals, scientists have also sent special messages into space on purpose. These messages are not like the usual television or radio waves. They are designed to be simple and clear. For example, in the year 1974, one of the most famous messages was sent from a large radio telescope in Puerto Rico. This message had pictures made with numbers and symbols. It was sent toward a group of stars very far from Earth. The idea was to show any intelligent life what humans are like, what our bodies look like, how numbers work for us, and what our planet is made of. The message used things like pictures of people, drawings of DNA, and signs that show where our planet sits in our galaxy. Other messages are carried by machines. In the 1970s, two spacecraft named Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 were sent far away from Earth. Each carries a golden record. On this record are the sounds and images of Earth. There are greetings in 55 different languages. There are photos of animals, plants, and people. There are songs and natural sounds like a baby crying or the wind blowing. These spacecraft are moving farther from our world all the time. Someday, one might pass near another star, and maybe, if there is someone there, they could find it and listen to the record. These items will last for millions of years, flying quiet and silent, holding the story of our home. Special messages also include letters, signals, or waves that say things like welcome or peace. Humans hope these simple messages show kindness so that if anyone is out there, they see us as friendly and thoughtful. Nobody knows if these messages will ever be found, but they are another way humans hope to reach out into the unknown. Every wave and signal that leaves Earth is a clue about who we are. They show what humans care about and what kind of world we built. Any other species that listens closely would learn how fast our technology changes. During the last 100 years, machines, music, and pictures have all grown more complex. Radio came before television, and now digital waves travel between computers. The aliens could see that our world is changing faster every year. New ideas move quickly, and whole countries are linked together by these invisible signals. All these changes create a picture of a species that is always inventing, learning, and sharing new ways of living. Aliens could also notice how humans have different ways of living in different parts of the world. They might hear news in many languages, music from many cultures, and stories from many countries. They might realize that people on Earth sometimes disagree with each other and sometimes work together. They could learn about our celebrations, our games, our hopes, and our worries. All of this information shows how complex and interesting life on our planet can be. But signals from Earth do not only carry music or joy, they also carry news about hard times. Some signals tell about wars, about fighting, or about trouble between people and nations. Aliens that look at our signals might learn that humans sometimes solve problems by using force or by hurting each other. Some news stories talk about dangerous weapons. In the last century, signals included news of nuclear bombs, which are some of the most powerful and dangerous things humans have ever built. Aliens could see how quickly people talk about and use technology, not just for good, but sometimes for things that cause harm or risk. These waves also show every part of human life: happiness and sadness, peace and war, making music and making weapons, art and science, hope and fear. Sometimes the waves send messages about taking care of Earth, and sometimes they show how humans sometimes use up resources too quickly or harm the environment. If a watcher puts all of these signals together, they can see a wide picture of humans: the good, the bad, the gentle, the risky. Just as people on Earth try to learn about distant planets and stars using light or radio waves, the reverse is true as well. We cannot stop the information about us from leaving. Earth is making a record of its present and its past, sending it out to any listener without knowing if someone will ever hear it. Even if we stop sending messages, the old waves will still travel away from our planet for thousands and thousands of years. The signals do not fade completely, they just become weaker and harder to find. But with enough technology and enough patience, someone with strong enough machines could capture them even far from Earth. Not every signal is meant for space. Most of Earth's signals are just for other people, for news, for talking, or for fun. But the universe has no walls. Everything we send, even by accident, becomes part of the story we are writing into space. Some scientists think a very advanced civilization could build a huge receiver to collect many weak signals at once. They might even be able to clean up the noise and hear even quiet messages very clearly. If these beings use technology we cannot imagine yet, they could learn a lot about us before we know anything about them. If a being from another world finds our signals, we do not know how they would react. Maybe they would try to learn our language, or maybe they would only listen and watch. Perhaps they would share the information with others or keep it to themselves. They might not even be able to understand human talk, but they might still notice patterns, numbers, and pictures in the signals. Even animals on Earth can notice patterns, so creatures from space would probably be able to do that too. Some people worry about what happens if the wrong kind of information is found. They wonder if showing that we have powerful weapons or that humans sometimes fight could make others think we are dangerous. There are discussions about whether we should try to change the things we send out, or if it is too late because history has already traveled so far. Other people say that honesty is the best way, and that whoever listens will see both our strengths and our mistakes. The signals from Earth are not just a story of today. They are a kind of map showing who we are and what Earth is like. Some signals include scientific facts, like where our planet is in the solar system, what kind of star our sun is, and the many kinds of plants and animals we know. Some messages include music, like greetings or concerts, which show the creative, joyful side of people. Other waves, like news or learning programs, might show what humans know about math, science, or history. Every single hour, the story grows. New signals from computers, phones, and satellites add more and more data to the growing cloud of messages around Earth. Other worlds would have to pick through all this information to find out what is most important to know about us. If they are patient and careful, they might really learn who we are, how we think, and how we live together. All these messages going into space could make someone curious about us. Maybe an advanced civilization is listening quietly, collecting what they can, and thinking about if or when they might try to talk to us. They might want to wait until they have enough information to decide what kind of beings humans are. Or they might be watching to see if we learn from our mistakes and change the way we treat each other and our planet. Besides the signals we send, there are ways that we try to listen for answers. Sometimes, scientists set up big receivers to listen for anything sent back to us. They listen almost every day, hoping that one day a message will come, even if it is only a single beep, a pattern, or a word in a language we do not know. So far, the answers have been silence. But the signals from Earth keep moving forward, spreading our story as far as they can go. If a distant world ever does listen closely enough, they could learn the full story of Earth and its people. They would hear about our best ideas and our biggest troubles, our happy days and our sad ones. They would see that humans are always changing, learning new things, making new discoveries, and sometimes making mistakes along the way. The story of Earth is now forever linked to the stars by these signals. Every new piece of music, every spoken word, every news story, and every laugh or cry becomes part of the waves that race outward. They do not stop. They do not turn back. They carry the truth of who we are, written in the language of music, science, news, art, happiness, and sadness. These signals, whether by accident or on purpose, are our message to the universe. They are the first way that humans have reached beyond our small world. Whether anyone is listening or not, the story goes on, moving through the stars, waiting for someone, somewhere, to hear and to understand. If someone far away in the universe is paying attention to the signals coming from Earth, they are not just hearing about songs, greetings, and the ordinary life of people. They are also learning about human history. All these messages and signals carry stories both happy and sad. They talk about important events, celebrations, difficult moments, and even times of fighting and change. For any listener outside Earth, these signals are like a window into our past and our present. When these signals are studied over time, it becomes clear that humans have a long history of conflict. The stories carried through radio and television waves do not hide the hard parts of life on Earth. News programs, emergency signals, and special reports talk about wars, revolutions, disagreements, and pain. Some signals tell about groups or countries fighting against each other. They talk about reasons for conflict, how long the war lasted, who was involved, and what happened to the people and places afterward. Long ago, countries and kingdoms fought wars for land, for resources, or for power. These conflicts left marks on maps and on the memories of people. Later, as technology grew, wars became even larger and more dangerous. More people were involved, battles became faster, and the damage became greater. The signals from Earth show how war changed over the centuries, from small fights to struggles that involved almost every nation on Earth. Anyone listening to these signals could learn the names and places of important wars. They would know about the First World War, which started in the early part of the 20th century, and the Second World War, which ended before the year 1950. They would hear about leaders, soldiers, and citizens who made choices in difficult times. These stories are not only facts about battles, they are also stories about pain, bravery, fear, hope, and the wish to survive. The signals do not just tell about big wars. They mention revolutions, times when people joined together to fight for change. These moments are full of risk and hope. Sometimes people fight for freedom, for equal rights, or for new ideas. The signals talk about these moments with music, speeches, quiet words, and loud voices. They carry the sound of crowds, the words of leaders, and the hopes of those who wanted a different future. Watching and listening to Earth from a distance, aliens could notice that humans are not always at peace with each other. Even after wars, there can be disagreements among countries, arguments over land or money, and anger that does not go away. Sometimes new wars begin, sometimes people work to make peace, but the record of fighting is there for anyone who pays attention. Some signals also talk about the weapons humans have made. At first, these were simple tools, but they became more and more dangerous over time. The greatest change came in the 20th century, when people created nuclear bombs. These bombs are so strong that a single one can destroy a city in a few moments. The waves from Earth carry news of these bombs, talks about countries testing them, and fears about what could happen if they are ever used again. Aliens, if they are thoughtful, would see that humans have the power to hurt not only other people, but also their whole world. News stories and pictures show cities that were destroyed, people who lost their homes and families, and places that are still changed many years later. Even the tests of these bombs can make land, air, and water dangerous for a long time. These facts would not be hidden from anyone using Earth signals to learn about us. Some news stories talk about people who tried to stop wars or to make the world a safer place. These are tales of peace agreements, meetings between countries, and the work of people who want to help. There are voices saying that war is not the way, and that peace is possible if people try hard enough. But there are also stories of fear and times when peace did not last. All these different messages together make the story of human life. The news, music, and stories paint a picture of a species that is strong, but also sometimes afraid. They show courage, but they also show mistakes. Even in times of trouble, there are those who care for others, who help people hurt by war, and who try to build hope. Aliens might notice that, even when things are at their worst, there are always some people working for better days. Many messages also talk about great inventions and the fast growth of technology. These stories talk about airplanes, rockets, satellites, and space travel. But sometimes these same inventions are used in war to watch others or to protect one country from another. For aliens, this might show that humans use their skills for both creation and destruction. It tells the truth that knowledge and power can be used in many ways. There are also messages about the pain that comes after a war. News reports talk about refugees, people who have to leave their homes and look for safety in a new place. Stories tell about families that are lost or broken. There are stories about cities and towns that must be rebuilt. These facts are all part of the history that can be learned by paying close attention to Earth's signals. Aliens studying these signals might see that humans sometimes build walls, both with words and with force. We often separate into groups, countries, religions, families, or tribes, and sometimes these groups do not trust each other. This can bring disagreement and sometimes hate. But the signals also tell about people who cross these lines, who make friends in other countries, who try to share and work together. These moments are not as many as the stories of fighting, but they are important. They are a part of the hope that things can be better. The story of human conflict is also a story of change. In some messages, there are voices of old people telling about times when things were much harder. They talk about years of hunger, fear, or loss. Other voices are young and full of hope, talking about dreams, about fixing the mistakes of the past, and about making peace. Earth's signals carry both these voices. One remembers, the other dreams. Several messages are filled with lessons from the past. Many stories and programs teach about the causes of great wars, so people can learn from what went wrong. There are also celebrations of peace, like songs or public holidays when people remember how hard it was to find the end of war. These lessons are an important part of what aliens could learn about Earth. They might notice that humans are able to look back at mistakes, try to understand them, and work to avoid them in the future. The signals also talk about leaders, good and bad. Some leaders are remembered for starting wars, others for ending them. Some used words to bring people together, others used force to get what they wanted. Music and movies often show famous leaders making big decisions, sometimes for good, sometimes not. Aliens listening to Earth's signals would see how leadership is both powerful and risky, and how a single person can make a difference, for peace or for war. While messages about conflict are common, there are also stories of friendship between nations. Sometimes countries make agreements to share, to trade, or to help in times of trouble. These agreements are called treaties, and they can help stop fights before they begin. Earth signals tell about the making and breaking of treaties, about speeches of hope, and about the hard work it takes to agree on peace. Science and education are often used to help heal the planet after times of war. There are programs about building new homes, growing food, and helping people return to normal life. Healing does not come quickly or easily, but it is part of the story too. Aliens might notice that even after the biggest conflicts, there is always a new start. People plant trees, rebuild schools, and hope that the next generation will not know as much pain. Some of the most powerful signals are those from people who have suffered because of war. These messages come from survivors telling their stories. They talk about losing family, leaving home, or finding hope in small acts of kindness. These details show the cost of conflict, but also the strength of the human heart. For anyone watching from space, these stories are a reminder that humans do not only destroy, they also care, remember, and love. Many programs from Earth also show the work of those who help others during times of need. There are stories about doctors and nurses, about volunteers who risk everything to save someone else, and about people who share what little they have with others. These acts of kindness stand out in the middle of hard times. They show that, even in the darkest days, there are good things happening too. While much of the history shown by our signals tells about conflict and their after-effects, there are also messages about peace movements, about people and groups that choose not to fight. Millions of people have marched for peace, signed letters, started organizations, or spent their lives teaching others to solve problems without violence. Songs and films talk about peace, respect, and the wish to end fighting forever. These signals also reach out into space and are part of what anyone watching will see. Besides wars, revolutions, and the making of weapons, Earth's history is filled with moments of hope. There are signals about the end of battles, days of silence, agreements, and handshakes. There are reports of cities rebuilt, families coming home, and songs of joy. History is never only about sadness. The waves tell about people starting over, caring for their neighbors, and learning to live together after hard times. Listening to all of these signals, a watcher from outside Earth could understand that humans are not simple. We are both peaceful and not peaceful, both hopeful and fearful, both able to make peace and able to break it. Aliens would see that humans have the power to change, to grow, and to dream of a better world. This story would not be hidden because every signal, every day, tells it again. While signals about conflict are strong and many, there are other signals that show life goes on. There are messages about school, work, games, art, science, and family. People get married, have children, celebrate happy times, and learn new things. These everyday moments are part of human history too. Aliens would notice that, even when large events shake the world, most life continues with hope and small joys. In all, the signals that leave Earth draw a true picture of how the story of humans is shaped by both struggle and hope. Anyone following this story would see that people keep searching for better answers, new ideas, and ways to avoid the mistakes of the past. The signals carry lessons that humans remember over time, lessons about conflict, about healing, and about working for a kinder future. By looking at these signals, a distant watcher would not just see what is happening now, but also understand where humanity has come from, full of stories, hard days, celebrations, and dreams to protect the world and each other in new ways. The story keeps moving forward as signals leave Earth every day, filled with the history of all people. Human signals traveling through space also reveal how people live with the planet that is their home. Each day, messages and programs tell stories about cities, landscapes, farms, and forests. They talk about how people build things, how they use the land, and how they depend on the many resources that Earth gives. When aliens look at or listen to all these signals, they can understand much about the way humans treat the environment and all living things around them. Watching Earth from far away, any outsider could see that the planet is covered with many different kinds of places. There are mountains, oceans, rivers, forests, deserts, and fields. Some places are full of green trees and plants, others are cold and empty, some are busy with people, and some are quiet and wild. Over a long time, people have changed the face of Earth. They have built big cities with lights that can be seen even from space. They have made roads, bridges, and huge buildings. All this is part of the story that human signals send out every day. Many programs show songs, films, and pictures about living close to nature. Sometimes people talk about the old times when forests were thick and animals were everywhere. There are stories about farmers who grow food by planting seeds, and fishermen who take food from the sea. These tales show respect and care for nature. They offer hope that people can live in balance with rivers, trees, and animals. But signals also bring news about problems that Earth now faces. Many reports talk about pollution, which happens when the air, water, or soil gets dirty because of factories, cars, or the way people throw away trash. Some places have air that is hard to breathe and rivers that are not safe to drink from. People sometimes cut down many trees to make space for fields or homes, but this can make animals lose their places to live. Some messages tell about seas with too much plastic or oil, and about beaches and forests full of garbage. Many stories and news programs speak about animals and plants that are in danger. Some animals are close to disappearing forever. Scientists use the word extinction to mean that a kind of animal or plant is lost from Earth and will not return. News about animals like tigers, elephants, rhinos, and whales warns that if people do not help, these creatures may vanish. Forests and wetlands are also shrinking. When these places disappear, many birds, insects, and other animals have no home. Some signals talk about big changes in the weather and climate. People use the words global warming and climate change to describe how Earth's air and water are getting hotter and how storms, floods, fires, or droughts are happening more often. Scientists explain that much of this is because of the way people burn coal, oil, and gas for energy. All over the world, people discuss how to use less energy, find new ways to make power, and lower the gases that make the planet hotter. Other messages highlight the fast growth of human populations in many countries. As more people are born and cities become bigger, more land is needed for homes, farms, and roads. This means more trees are cut down and more wild places disappear. Sometimes people grow food or use water faster than the Earth can replace them. These problems are shown in news, films, and discussions about how to feed, house, and give clean water to everyone on the planet. There are also positive stories that show people trying to repair and protect the planet. Some signals talk about planting new forests or creating parks where plants and animals can be safe. There are programs about recycling, which is when people use old things to make new products instead of throwing them away. Many schools teach children about caring for Earth, saving water, and protecting animals. Communities work together to clean rivers or plant flowers. These actions, big and small, show hope for the future. Some messages come from scientists who study the air, water, and soil. These scientists use tools and machines to measure pollution. They study what happens when forests are lost or when the air in cities gets dirty. Research helps everyone understand why these things happen and what can be done to fix or prevent damage. Many programs invite people to listen to experts and learn how to help. There are also stories about how humans depend on the natural world for food, medicine, shelter, and fresh air. Forests give wood, plants give fruits and vegetables, and even tiny insects are important for growing food. People do not live alone. They are part of a big web of life, with animals, plants, water, air, and land all connected. Other stories tell about problems between humans trying to use the same resource. Sometimes two countries want the same river, or people in a city need water that comes from far away. These situations can cause stress or even arguments, but they also teach how important it is to share Earth's gifts with care and respect. Programs about space also show how rare and special Earth is. When astronauts and cameras look back at Earth from beyond, they see a blue planet wrapped in air and clouds. News and pictures show how, in all the known universe, Earth is the only place we know with both water and life. This bright blue planet, full of forests, seas, and living things, is worth saving. Some films and stories are made to teach people about the beauty of nature. They show animals in the wild, forests after rain, birds flying over mountains, or whales swimming in the sea. These stories can make people feel joy and a wish to care for living things. Music and art are also used to share the message that the Earth is valuable and needs respect. Over the last 100 years, Earth's night sky has changed. From space, the lights of cities now shine around the planet. As people build more things, the shapes of cities and even highways stand out. Machines called satellites take pictures from above. They show forests growing smaller, deserts getting bigger, and the places where people live expanding every year. Some programs show new ways to make energy that is less harmful. People are using sun and wind to make electricity. They are inventing cars and machines that use less fuel or can use energy from the sun. Countries work together in meetings to agree on ways to protect the air and water. These global efforts are sometimes hard, but they show that humans do not give up. Stories about disasters, like oil spills, fires, or floods, are found in every kind of signal. These disasters can destroy forests, kill animals, and make places hard for people to live. But after every disaster, there are also stories about people who help, who rescue animals, clean rivers, or rebuild homes. These actions show that caring for the Earth is important to many people. There are also warnings in signals about using too many of Earth's resources. Scientists say that if everyone uses more than what the planet gives, there will be problems for future generations. Some countries use more energy and create more trash, but all people are connected by the same air and water. Programs talk about finding fair solutions so that everyone gets what they need and the planet stays healthy. Many traditions and religions teach that the planet should be cared for. Songs and stories remind people to show respect, to give thanks for the land, and to protect what is around them. These values are shared in stories, music, and programs from many cultures. By listening, someone from far away would learn that care for the Earth is important across the world. Children's shows and stories ask the youngest people to help the planet. They teach about planting a tree, saving water, not wasting food, and picking up litter. These simple acts can make a big difference when many people work together. Schools and community groups clean up parks, protect animals, and work to keep places safe for wild things to live. In many programs, leaders talk about the future. They promise to make new laws to protect rivers, forests, and clean air. They talk about plans to use more clean energy, to stop cutting forests, or to help animals in danger. Sometimes new laws help, sometimes change is slow, but more people are asking for their leaders to protect the world. Some stories describe special days when countries join to care for the planet. There are days to plant trees, days to clean rivers, and days to remember the beauty of nature. These shared actions help people feel connected, even if they live far apart. They show that humans can work together for good causes. Music, art, and poems often express people's love for nature. These messages are sent as songs of the sea, drawings of forests, or poems about the changing seasons. They remind everyone who hears or sees them that the planet is full of wonder and is a gift worth saving for children and all living things. New inventions appear in many signals too. There are cloud collecting machines that gather water from the air, small gardens inside cities, and new ways to clean the ocean or the air. Inventors and scientists try ideas to help both people and the planet. By sharing these successes in programs and news, more people can learn and try these ideas everywhere. In places where danger is great, people are learning to live with the changes. Farmers plant new kinds of plants that need less water. Builders use materials that do not harm the land. In cities, groups make gardens on rooftops or use walls to grow food and flowers. These stories of change are part of the human signal now, showing that learning never stops. Programs for older people and for children both talk about the joy of walking in nature, the calm feeling by rivers, or the sound of birds in the morning. Books and stories are filled with pictures of flowers, animals, and all kinds of living things. These images and sounds travel with the other signals, letting any watcher see the deep connection between humans and the world. Every country has its own special animals, plants, and natural wonders. Programs show elephants walking in Africa, kangaroos in Australia, bears in America, and pandas in China. These wonders are part of the world's beauty, and signals about them travel far into the universe. Sometimes signals talk about problems too big for one place to fix. There are stories about plastic in the oceans, air that moves pollution from one country to another, or animals that travel across borders. These problems make everyone part of one world, needing to find answers together. There are also messages about hope. People come together to plan, to work on big projects, and to share ideas across countries. Some send seeds to space, hoping to learn how to grow food in new ways. Some build green cities, full of plants, clean energy, and friendly for people and animals. In all these signals, the story of Earth is one of beauty, trouble, and hope. Anyone listening from far away could understand that people can hurt the planet, but also that people are learning to be better and to care for the world that is their home. The story is not only about problems, but also about a growing wish to protect and heal the environment. The signals tell that humans are part of a big family, with plants, animals, water, and land. The better humans care for the planet, the better life will be for everyone, today and tomorrow. This is the story Earth keeps sending, every hour and every day, teaching that hope and responsibility are always present in the journey of life. Every signal that travels through space does not only share Earth's stories of nature, hope, and care, but also shows how quickly people and their world can change. Each day, the world grows, moves, and shapes itself in new ways. Changes happen in how people live, the size of their cities, the technology they use, and the ideas they share. This fast movement and progress are easy to see in the stories, messages, and shows that reach beyond our planet every hour. Aliens, if they are listening, would notice that life for humans has changed a great deal in just a few centuries. In old recordings and books, Earth was once made of many small villages and farms. Families lived close to each other. Most people traveled by walking, riding animals, or using simple boats. They grew food on small plots and made most things with their own hands. The buildings were made from wood, stone, or clay, and the streets were often empty and dark at night. Signals from newer times share a much different world. Machines now help humans with nearly every part of life. Over only a few hundred years, people built much larger towns and cities. These cities keep getting bigger. They are filled with tall buildings made of glass, metal, and concrete. Lights make nights bright. Cars, buses, and trains run everywhere. In many places, people can travel great distances in just a few hours. The speed of human movement is shown in the signals that go into space. Not long ago, no person had ever flown. Then, people built balloons that could rise into the sky. Later, in the early part of the 20th century, they made airplanes. After that, people learned to build rockets and spaceships. In the year 1969, humans walked on the moon for the first time. Since then, people and robots have visited many places in the solar system, and machines travel far beyond Earth to take pictures, study rocks, and send data back home. Earth's signals reveal new technology arriving almost every year. Radios, telephones, computers, and the internet all changed the ways people talk and share. A message from one part of the world can now reach another part in less than a second. Children in different countries can see the same show, hear the same song, or look at the same picture at the very same time. Friends and families talk even while living on other sides of the world. Aliens would notice that the speed of change in human life is very fast now. In just one lifetime, a person can see the birth of new machines, the building of new roads and cities, and new ways of learning, working, and relaxing. Signals tell about new inventions like smartphones that let people talk, learn, and play games almost everywhere they go. These small changes together create a picture of a planet where life moves quickly. Messages from Earth often talk about the good things that come from new technology and new ideas. More children get to go to school and learn. Many people now live longer, healthier lives because of better food, clean water, and good medicine. Hospitals, doctors, and medicine can cure or help many diseases that once frightened humans. Vaccines stop people from getting sick, and clean water helps people not to catch illness from dirty rivers or lakes. There are also signals about the way technology can make life easier and safer. Messages share stories about how computers help people work faster, make art, and solve problems. Families can stay in touch even when they move far away. People can shop, read, watch movies, and do many other things on machines in their homes or in their pockets. Scientists use computers to study the air, the weather, the seas, and even the stars. These machines help people answer questions that were too hard or slow for humans alone. Not all the changes are easy. Some signals tell about news that is hard. People sometimes lose their jobs when machines can do the work faster or cheaper. Old ways of life, like farming or making things by hand, may disappear because of new technology. Some people feel left behind because they do not understand or cannot use new machines. This can make them feel worried or sad. The story of human change is not only about machines. Ways of thinking and living also change very quickly. Television, movies, and the internet show people from many different cultures and countries. Ideas, styles, and ways of life spread fast. Old beliefs may change as people see new ways of living. Many communities make laws about how to treat others with equality and respect. Messages and stories discuss topics like voting, human rights, freedom, and fairness. These signals are a record of new kinds of work too. No longer do most people only work in fields or small shops. Now, many work in tall office buildings, hospitals, labs, factories, or on computers from anywhere in the world. There are news stories about people working together across oceans. Goods are bought and sold between continents, and foods from every part of Earth are shared by people everywhere. Aliens could learn from these stories that humans can change very quickly when they need to. Whenever there is a problem, people often try many different ways to fix it. After disasters, new homes rise from ruins. When diseases spread, scientists search for cures. When old ways harm the planet, younger people look for different ideas, like green energy or clean cities, and try to help others understand. Some signals show how inventions in science and math can save lives. There are stories about using satellites to warn people about storms and floods, and about special machines in hospitals that see inside the body to find and treat sickness. Young people learn new subjects in school using books, videos, and even games to make learning fun and easy. The number of people who can read and write keeps growing. Education becomes faster and stronger. Young people learn about ancient cultures, science, art, and how to solve problems. There are programs to teach boys and girls, rich and poor, so that more and more people can have good lives and be ready to help their communities. Education brings new ideas into every home, and people dream about what they want to become. The signals sent from Earth also tell about the digital world, where people can make and share things even if they have never met face to face. People write, draw, sing, and invent things together all across the world. Kids can learn about space, oceans, or animals in a classroom with children from other continents. These signals show a world connected by many invisible lines. With new technology, people also make art, music, and science together. Shows and news talk about new artists using computers to draw, write, and make music. People can dance to music from another country or see a painting made by a person far away. In the digital world, people meet new friends and tell stories that cross rivers and mountains. Alien listeners would learn that even though technology grows fast and people build new cities, some things stay the same. Messages about family, friends, love, and care for others still appear in every type of signal. Problems are often solved by people working together, sharing knowledge and kindness. Along with these stories are warnings about technology's dangers. Some messages tell about people using machines or computers to hurt others, take things, or break rules. There are stories about trouble caused by losing privacy, or about lies that travel quickly on the internet. Experts appear in news shows to explain risks and help people stay safe online. Machines have become very smart. On television and in news, stories talk about artificial intelligence, machines that can learn, answer questions, and even talk with people. Some are used in hospitals, cars, or homes to help or keep people safe. Others make art, write, or play games. These new machines bring hope, but they also cause people to ask questions. Will jobs disappear? Are machines smarter than people? Who controls what these machines do? These are big questions in the signals that leave Earth. New ways of sharing data can also cause worries. News stories tell about hackers and people who steal information or money. Nothing is completely safe, and people look for ways to make the internet, money, and secrets more protected. There are also signals about laws to protect privacy and make sure children use the internet safely. As technology spreads, the distance between rich and poor is more visible. Some news stories talk about people who do not have enough food, computers, or even clean water. Even as some cities become richer and use more machines, others struggle. Many groups try to help those in need, sending computers to schools, clean water to villages, or food to hungry families. Every new invention is a chance for the world to change. Robots help in factories, in space, and even at home. Farmers use new machines to plant and pick food. Doctors use tiny tools to fix hearts or eyes. In some places, people still live much as they did long ago. In others, life is moving faster than ever before. With all these changes, old and new, children learn about both the past and the future. Stories, movies, and schools mix the old with the new. Old songs and dances are sometimes played on the newest speakers. Local festivals or family stories remind people where they came from, even as they dream about the future. This link to tradition is strong in many messages sent beyond Earth. Aliens watching these signals would notice that humans do not always agree on how quickly to change. Some want only the newest ways. Others wish to slow down and remember where they started. Often, these differences lead to debates about what is best for people and the planet. Even the efforts to care for Earth use new ideas and inventions. Stories show windmills, solar panels, and electric cars. There are programs about making less trash, using more energy from the sun, and designing cities that use water and land carefully. The best new ideas are shared all around the planet, with each country learning from others. In every sign and message sent from Earth, hope and fear go together. The hope is that new technology and inventions make life better, longer, and happier. The fear is that change will be too fast, and some will be left behind, or that dangerous machines will be uncontrolled. Signals show both dreams and worries as people work to find answers. Working together is one of the most common answers. Signals show countries meeting to talk about big problems, scientists working across borders, and students learning new languages, skills, and ideas together. Art, science, and medicine are shared between places that once did not connect. For aliens, or anyone looking, these signals would show that humans can grow and change quickly. They can make mistakes, but they can also learn and repair. People use their minds, hands, and hearts to create new things, to help each other, and to heal the world and themselves. Every story, every song, every lesson moving through space builds a record of a civilization that is clever, busy, changing, and connected to both neighbors and strangers. Technology allows voices from every corner of the planet to meet in a single moment, share a good idea, or find a new friend. Anybody watching would know that humanity lives in a world where learning never stops and where growth comes quickly with each new tool, discovery, or dream. The signals moving into space speak of a time in human history where change is everywhere. They show a planet open to new ideas, ready to learn and hopeful for the tomorrow that the next message may bring. All the messages leaving Earth at each moment show a planet that is changing in many ways. This steady flow of information creates a long, detailed story about human life, full of joy, discovery, mistakes, and new ideas. For anyone in the universe watching patiently and collecting these signals, patterns about humans become clear. While humans are busy living, working, and inventing, someone far away could be listening, thinking, and learning. This thought brings new questions about wisdom, patience, and time. If there are other civilizations in space, they could be a little older or they could be much older than ours. It is possible that some have been growing and changing for thousands or even millions of years. These other civilizations might look different, and they might think in new ways that are hard for humans to imagine. If they watch Earth for a long time, they would collect messages from all periods of human life. They could see the slow steps in the beginning, the times of fighting, great inventions, and the speed of change. All these signs would help them to make choices about what kind of people live on Earth. It is likely that a society that has lived through so many years would become wise. Wise beings may learn to avoid actions that bring trouble, pain, or destruction. They could decide after their own hard lessons that kindness, patience, and care are important. If a civilization is very old, it might not want to rush into any decision, especially any decision about visiting, contacting, or changing another world. Older and wiser aliens may trust the lessons of time and wait until they are sure that it is safe and good to make contact. Aliens who are wise might study Earth's signals and notice that people still fight, use strong weapons, and sometimes harm each other or the planet. They may feel worry when they see news of wars or hear about dangerous inventions. A patient civilization could be hoping to see more signs of peace, care, and respect between people and for the world itself. They may collect facts and watch for changes, looking for a moment when patterns of war become patterns of friendship, when technology is mostly used to help, and when the strong protect the weak. Wise aliens who are peaceful might understand the dangers that come from meeting new worlds. They might know that mistakes can happen when two groups are different and do not know each other well. Maybe they have rules or promises that say it is better not to interfere, to give space for new civilizations to make their own choices and grow in their own time. Older civilizations could have their own history of conflict. They might remember a time long ago when they used force or made errors because of fear, anger, or the wish to control. If they learned to change, to value peace, and to solve problems calmly, these lessons would be a deep part of how they act now. Watching humans, they may see their own past repeated, and this might make them careful and respectful. For wise aliens, the way humans treat the earth is also important. They would see if humans protect the air, the water, animals, and forests. If they see people working together to heal nature and show care, they may feel hope. If they see ongoing harm, pollution, or the loss of life, they may wonder if humans are ready for bigger steps. Aliens who have lived a long time may know that the health of a planet is linked to the health of its people. Older civilizations could have ways to learn much more. Maybe they have machines or tools to watch details that humans cannot even see. Perhaps they can listen more closely, watch more carefully, and understand many kinds of signals. By studying the history of humans, they could see not just the surface, but the deeper patterns in actions, reactions, and choices. They could notice if people are learning from past mistakes or repeating them. They might use this information to decide if they should reach out or wait. With great wisdom comes caution. Even if an old and clever civilization can travel between stars or send messages across light years, they may think deeply about what is the right thing to do. They may worry about causing confusion, fear, or pain to humans who are not ready. They could be patient, staying hidden or silent, and checking again and again for signs that new civilizations are peaceful and thoughtful. In messages from Earth, signals do not only tell about fighting or harm. There are also stories of helping, sharing, and growing together. There are songs about peace and hope, ideas about friendship between all people, and dreams of a world where everyone is safe. These are important to wise aliens. They show that humans are not only creatures of fear, but they can also love, forgive, and care for others. A careful civilization would notice when people on Earth start to solve conflicts without violence. They would see new laws, leaders working for peace, and helpers from all cultures reaching out to fix problems. Old aliens with much knowledge would pay attention to the times when countries end wars, when people rescue those in need, and when learning is shared between nations. Aliens who trust wisdom may believe that all young civilizations need time to grow. They could know that change comes slowly but can last a long time when it comes from learning, not from force. They might have agreed among themselves over centuries to give other worlds time to find their own answers, to avoid giving too much help or changing things too early. They may have a rule not to make themselves known until humans reach a point where they are truly ready for contact. Patience could be a deep value for these wise aliens. If they have worked and waited for thousands or millions of years, they know the value of time. They might see each generation of humans as another step forward. They would watch for children learning, for scientists studying, for artists, teachers, and leaders trying to build a better future. These are the signs that a civilization is becoming wise, that it is learning the value of kindness, courage, and respect for life and the planet. Older civilizations could also be curious. They may like to learn, to listen, and to explore. They could learn a great deal by watching humans closely, seeing how people learn to care for their home, for each other, and for living things of all kinds. In their own long history, they may have learned that curiosity must be balanced by wisdom and that safety is important for everyone. Aliens who are advanced and wise might have laws or traditions about meetings between worlds. They may agree that the risk of harm is too great unless there is deep trust and understanding. Maybe they only meet civilizations that have shown peace for a long time or that have learned to care for all people, rich or poor, weak or strong. Messages from Earth would show many signs of both hope and trouble. Aliens would not make a decision lightly. They might worry that contact with humans could bring out fear instead of wonder, anger instead of peace, or the wish for power instead of friendship. Wise aliens would want to avoid causing panic, causing new arguments, or changing Earth in ways that are not safe. Sometimes wise beings may choose to help quietly, giving gentle signs, small clues, or sharing knowledge in hidden ways. They would not want to control, but to support slow, natural growth. Their goal would be to give humanity the best chance for a peaceful, bright future. Files of human music, art, and wisdom could show them that people are moving in the right direction, even if the steps are small. If an old alien civilization had contact with others before, they might have learned that rushing forward or giving too much can be risky. Maybe long ago they helped another young world that was not ready and saw trouble happen because of that. These memories would guide them now to be much more careful and quiet. They would only choose to speak or visit when they believe it is safe for both them and for humans. For humans, this means our own story is important. Aliens are not just watching what technology Earth has, but the way humans use it. They are interested in kindness, in the power of imagination, in laughter, in how people help each other after storms or disasters. They learn by seeing how people treat the stranger, the poor, the weak, and any animal or plant that cannot defend itself. These little signs, sent to space every hour, build a picture of human nature. The careful study of humans by older civilizations would be slow and watchful. They would compare the new with the old, looking for signs that people have become wiser, more peaceful, and more fair. They would be interested in how humans settle arguments, how they care for their home, how they use power and share it. Change must last, and wise aliens would wait to make sure it is real. Patience, wisdom, and the will to avoid harm would be at the center of the actions of such beings. They may hope for a day when all the signs point to real growth and lasting peace. On that day, they might begin to prepare a first message, a gentle voice reaching out to a civilization ready to listen and to share. Until then, they wait, learn, and watch kindly and patiently, holding back even if they are curious or excited. Older civilizations would see the beauty of small acts. One person helping another, a village rebuilding after hard times, a child learning to read, a scientist solving a hard problem, an artist painting joy or sadness. They would know these are signs of the best human qualities, and they would be glad to see them grow stronger over time. Aliens who value wisdom and peace may decide to keep their distance, to make sure nothing is rushed, to give humans every chance to write their own story and find their own way. Their hope would be that humans grow not just with machines and cities, but in their hearts and in their care for each other and the world. The long river of signals leaving Earth carries messages of love, friendship, kindness, hard lessons, new dreams, and hope for everyone. Wise civilizations, watching and learning, find all these things in the patterns and voices from the blue planet. Their quiet study is an act of respect for both their own history and for the future of humans. Connected by the signals of light and sound, Earth's story becomes part of the larger universe. Older and wiser eyes may be watching, waiting for the best possible moment, or perhaps simply wishing the people of Earth a gentle journey as they grow and learn. Each day, as the story of Earth flows outwards into the universe, anyone listening quietly from far away could choose what to do with all this information. For a civilization that is wise, patient, and careful, the decision might be to stay silent and keep watching. Every signal from Earth adds more to the picture. There is progress, there are problems, there are acts of kindness, and there are also mistakes. By waiting and listening, those who are watching may feel it is not the right time to reach out or appear. If someone in space really is watching and thinking about humans, they might have many reasons to stay hidden. Watching from a safe distance, they could learn what humans do when no one is looking. They could see how humans act towards one another and how they treat their planet, their animals, and those who need help. This long and quiet study teaches more than a single conversation ever could. For those who choose to watch silently, safety could be the greatest reason. Meeting a new kind of life brings many risks. Nobody knows how humans would feel if they discovered someone else was out there, watching or listening. Some people might be curious, but many might be afraid. Fear can bring confusion or anger. Watching without being seen protects both sides from making quick and dangerous mistakes. Those who are careful do not act because of excitement. They do not send a message the moment they notice a new planet or new technology. They prepare, observe, and wait for stronger signs of peace, care, and wisdom. Instead of rushing, they collect years, decades, or even centuries of information. This careful waiting lets them understand the heart of a civilization, not just its surface. Staying hidden means learning deeply. By listening to the everyday signals, a careful civilization can watch humans as they really are. They notice patterns when people are happy, sad, excited, worried, peaceful, or angry. This kind of watching does not disturb the ones being studied. It is a quiet and respectful way of understanding. Each new lesson helps the hidden watcher decide if the time for contact is close or still far away. The choice to watch and not speak is also a way to avoid causing harm. A sudden appearance, a voice from the dark, or a strange object in the sky could change life on Earth very quickly. Some people might react with hope or happiness, while others could respond with panic or anger. There could be arguments or fights about what it means and what to do next. By not interfering, the watcher allows people to grow in their own way, finding their own answers and making their own changes. Those who choose to stay distant could also worry about being misunderstood. Language, customs, and emotions might be hard to explain between different worlds. Even on Earth, people sometimes struggle to understand one another, even when they speak the same language. A message from another planet with different ideas and senses could be confusing or frightening. Taking time to watch and learn gives both sides a better chance at understanding if they ever meet. Another reason to stay silent comes from respect. For those who wait, it may be important not to change the story of a world until it has written more of its own. Making contact before a planet is ready can bring trouble. It could change ideas, upset beliefs, or stop people from solving their own problems. By giving space, the watcher honors the life and the journey of everyone on Earth. Watching quietly, a wise civilization sees more than science or technology. They see the dreams of children, the laughter in hard times, the small acts of bravery, and the slow growth of trust and hope. These details are not always in news stories or programs, but they appear in the many small signals that leave the planet every hour. For a patient watcher, these little things show the shape of the soul of a world. Being patient often means separating noise from meaning. There are many voices in the signals from Earth, and some of them are serious while others are just jokes or games. Not every tough day means the world is lost. Not every argument is a sign of great danger. Waiting brings a deeper understanding so that one event is not confused with a lasting pattern. Aliens who choose to watch from a distance can also see how humans react to surprise. Sometimes new discoveries or changes bring out the best qualities in people: kindness, teamwork, or courage. Sometimes the first reaction is fear or anger, but later comes learning and healing. The patient watcher sees when hope wins over worry. They wait to see if kindness grows stronger as time moves forward. Watching quietly lets those in space notice how humans solve big problems. When a disease spreads or a disaster happens, do people join together? When the air, water, or land is in trouble, do people try to fix it? How do leaders act when there is a choice between selfishness and sharing? By watching for a long time, the hidden observer knows if people are learning from each trouble, growing stronger, or waiting for someone else to save them. It is possible that the silent watchers have rules about what they can and cannot do. These rules may be very old, shaped by the lessons of their own history. Maybe long ago, they tried to make contact with another world before it was ready and saw bad results. Maybe they learned that waiting is better than rushing. Or maybe they made promises to each other to never interfere unless certain signs are clear for a long time. Some in space may even avoid all contact on purpose. They could believe that each world needs freedom to make its own mistakes and find its own truth. They may think that helping too much or showing up too soon could stop the natural growth of ideas, dreams, and changes. Their patience is not only caution, but respect for the rhythm of each world's story. From time to time, a watcher may look for clues that the world is ready for a new step. They may watch for long-lasting peace, for more respect between people, for better care of nature, and for a growing sense of one world, not just many different countries. Signals about working together, sharing knowledge, or healing hurt places may mean the world is becoming more ready to meet others. Choosing to watch does not always mean never helping. Sometimes gentle help is given in hidden ways. A patient watcher may send small clues, tiny ideas, or new knowledge in ways that are hard to see. These small gifts would never force change, but could help people discover better ways of living, working, or creating. The help is quiet and light, so humans still have to learn, try, and decide for themselves. The act of watching is filled with hope. The silent observer wants, deep inside, to see humans find their best path, to see the day when fear is less strong and when kindness leads the way. The watcher's patience is an act of caring, a wish that when the worlds finally meet, it will be with wisdom, not with pain. There are times when the watcher could see danger and feel sad. If they see wars or pain that could be stopped, they might wish they could help more, but their rules and history remind them to wait, to avoid making things worse by acting too soon. Waiting is hard, but it can be the safest choice for both sides. By choosing to watch from far away, a wise civilization protects itself as well. Just as humans may worry about dangers from space, any visitor or watcher would not know for sure how safe humans are. If people move too quickly, act with fear, or want to control or hurt, then watching from a distance is the safest plan. Waiting also gives time for both sides to learn about each other in slow, careful ways. It lets stories, ideas, and hopes become known over many years. If the day ever comes for meeting, there is a better chance that both sides will be safe, ready, and open to real friendship. Quiet observation is a choice made each day. For a watcher, every new signal adds to the growing picture of what humanity is becoming. By waiting and watching, they can see more truths and fewer mistakes. they can prepare, learn, and always hope for a good outcome. The act of silent watching asks for trust, trust that people can change, solve problems, and become ready in their own time. It is trust that even after mistakes and hard days, there can be growth, healing, and new beginnings. Out in space, silent watchers may hope as much as humans hope, waiting for a sign that the next chapter is coming. Sometimes humans wonder if the silence in the sky means nobody is there. But if someone is watching, the silence could be a gentle form of kindness and care. The quiet could mean that the watchers are waiting for the right moment, for the clearest signal of peace, wisdom, and care. The choice to watch from a distance is not because of fear alone, but also because of hope and respect. Each silent year is another chance for humans to grow, practice kindness, make peace, and learn how to care for their world. The patient watcher gives the time needed for real change to take root and grow strong. Day by day, people on Earth go on living, building, making mistakes, and trying again. All these moments are written into the sky by invisible signals. Far away, someone may be listening, learning, and quietly waiting for the best moment to show themselves, start a true friendship, and share the wonders of the universe with a world that has learned to listen and care. While people on Earth continue to live, work, and hope, and while any silent watchers from space keep their distance, there is always a question that appears in minds everywhere. What would really happen if humans and another civilization made contact? This question is not simple. It is full of worry, hope, and also fear. Both humans and any aliens who might be watching must think about possible dangers before deciding to try true contact. The first risk comes from not knowing how people would react. Humans have many different feelings and ideas. Some might feel excitement and joy. Others could feel fear and confusion. If one part of humanity feels scared, it can lead to arguments or even fighting. Every person thinks in their own way, so there is no single answer for how an entire world would feel. The unknown can bring out strong emotion. For leaders and groups that make decisions for nations, the sudden knowledge that other beings are real may feel like a big and heavy responsibility. Who should speak for Earth? Who decides what to say or do? There could be disagreements inside a country, between countries, or between different groups. When people are not prepared, these disagreements could become bigger and lead to real trouble. Another danger comes from the way some people think about power and new things. There might be hope to use contact with aliens for advantage, whether to learn secrets, to get new technology, or to become more important in the world. If a person, a group, or a nation tries to keep knowledge or friendship with aliens only for itself, others may become angry or worried, which can cause even more trouble. There is also the worry about how people might act if they suddenly had access to new ideas or machines from more advanced beings. Some humans may hope to use these gifts to solve hard problems, like curing diseases, making food, or fixing the environment. But other people might want to use the new things as weapons or to gain control. Every even small piece of technology could become dangerous if used in a wrong or selfish way. The problem does not only belong to humans. Aliens would also have to think about their safety. They do not know how people might respond, if humans will try friendship, or if they will see aliens as a threat. Even the best plans can fail if fear is too strong. If humans act without care, try to take from the visitors, or treat them in a bad way, aliens could become worried, decide to leave, or even act in defense. Diseases are another important risk. All life on Earth is used to certain bacteria and viruses. Aliens could have their own germs. A meeting between two different worlds could bring sickness to both, as neither is ready for the other's tiny life forms. This could cause illness or disaster for humans, for aliens, or for both sides. Even careful planning may not be enough to stop all problems. This is something that both civilizations must think about before coming close. There is also the danger of misunderstanding and confusion. Even on Earth, people sometimes do not understand each other. Different languages, traditions, beliefs, and actions can make people angry, scared, or sad. These problems would be even bigger when two worlds meet. A signal that seems normal or friendly to one group could be strange or even frightening to another. Mistakes could happen because of words, actions, pictures, or even the things that are not said. Sometimes humans dream that contact will bring friendship and a better life. Many books, songs, and movies tell stories about peace, learning, or sharing between worlds. But there are also stories that show things going wrong. Arguments, battles, or accidents happen when two sides do not know each other well. This is why careful thought and planning are so important for everyone. Fear of change is another risk during contact. Some people feel safe with things they know and may want to protect their way of life. Learning that humans are not alone could feel like a threat, and people could fight back against new ideas. This could hurt peaceful communication and make learning difficult. Even small news about aliens may cause fast-spreading worry, panic, or mistrust among people. Contact could also affect the way people think about their own world and their place in the universe. When humans see for the first time that they are not alone, old ideas, beliefs, and even religions could change. This could be exciting and open new paths, but it could also cause confusion or sadness. Some may feel that old things have lost meaning. Others may find new meaning or hope. Aliens who plan from far away may also have rules to avoid giving too much too quickly. They could choose not to share all their knowledge or plans. They might fear that humans would take new gifts and use them fast without stopping to learn or to think about them. Waiting is safer, as it lets each world grow at its own speed, find its own answers, and avoid making mistakes that cannot be fixed. There is another big worry. What if other alien groups are watching? If one group comes forward, maybe others will too. Some may be peaceful, others not. There is risk that friendly aliens could bring unwanted attention from others who are not kind or careful. Keeping contact hidden or slow can make it easier to see who is out there and keep everyone safe. A meeting between civilizations is more than just sharing science and tools. It means trusting each other, learning each other's ways, and being honest about hopes and fears. Any quick move, whether by humans or by aliens, could break trust. In the worst case, mistakes can lead to lasting hurt or years of silence. Another risk is about who controls the new connection. If only a few people or one group speaks for all, others may feel left out. This can cause anger, mistrust, and even fighting among humans. For peace, all voices must be heard, and everyone needs to feel part of the story. Money and economy can also be at risk. If contact or new things change how people work, buy, or sell, whole parts of society could suffer. There may be new rules, lost jobs, or changes that are too fast for some to follow. Everyone will need time to learn and adjust so that change is safe and fair. There is a risk to the nature and beauty of Earth. If humans become too focused on new ideas from another world, they may forget about caring for their home, their animals, and their plants. Old problems could grow if new attention comes too fast. This is why smart planning is needed to keep the planet healthy while learning from new friends. Art, culture, and old traditions are part of people's lives. If everything changes at once, people may lose touch with their past. Traditions help people know who they are, what they value, and how to make choices. Meeting another civilization might bring new art and ideas, but it could also cause people to forget their old stories and ways. Aliens might be afraid of being changed as well. Even a peaceful new friend can lose its own culture if it blends too fast with others. Loss of history, language, or music can happen to any side if they do not take care to keep what is special. It is important to protect both sides from losing what makes each unique. Children and young people can face special trouble when things change very fast. They may not understand, or they may be frightened by the worries of adults. It is important to help them learn, to answer questions with care, and to give them safe places to feel hopeful about the future. One other risk is secrecy and guessing. If some people know and others do not, rumors will grow. Secrets often make fear stronger. Honest sharing is safer for everyone, but it must be done with care, sharing the truth without causing panic. It is safest if both sides work carefully together. Making small steps, asking questions, and listening before acting keeps everyone safer. When mistakes happen, they are easier to fix when people trust each other and speak openly. If a meeting becomes unfriendly, there could be big trouble. Strong weapons, even ones from Earth, can hurt many. No one wants to see fighting between worlds. Staying calm, patient, and kind is the best hope if contact happens. Science and learning must work alongside wisdom. The excitement about new knowledge is strong, but it must be balanced with thinking about what is good, what is possible, and what is safe. No one knows all the answers. Learning together, step by step, helps both worlds become better and safer. Patience helps. There will be mistakes, but each mistake can teach if people pay attention. Good things come slowly. Trust grows step by step, not all at once. The hope is that both humans and aliens want peace, learning, and friendship. Quiet and respect for each other's differences are key to success. Listening is just as important as talking. No side must try to be the boss. True friends share, help, and look after each other's needs. As people on Earth think about contact, they remember that learning from the past helps. Mistakes in history, fighting, fear, and trying to control others show why patience and care are necessary when meeting someone new. Old lessons can make future contact wiser. Aliens who have waited and watched for a long time know these risks well. They may have met others before. They know that hurrying is dangerous. For humans, understanding danger is part of being ready to meet new friends. Preparing together is the best way to face the future. Talking openly, learning in schools, sharing hopes, and planning for change helps to make contact safer and better for everyone. Making contact with another civilization is not only about discovery, it is a test of character. Are people ready to act with care, to listen, to learn, and to treat others fairly? Are they ready to protect what matters and to grow together? Each step must be watched, checked, and made with both bravery and caution. Each new day, as the signals leave Earth, there is a quiet hope that contact will be safe, wise, and good for all. The dream of meeting another world is full of possibility, but everyone must remember that the risks are real and must be met with open eyes and caring hearts. After thinking about the risks and hopes of meeting another civilization, many people start to dream about the future. Each person imagines what life could be like if humans keep searching, keep learning, and become wiser and more careful. The signals traveling out from Earth each moment show a world that is not perfect but always moving, full of new ideas and small acts of kindness. This brings a question that is very important. What can people do today so that tomorrow is brighter, not just for themselves, but for the whole planet and for anyone who might be listening from very far away? Every new day on Earth brings changes, big and small. Children wake up and prepare for school. Workers leave their homes to help build, teach, heal, or create. Farmers plant crops, scientists look for answers, and doctors care for the sick. Artists, writers, and musicians look for beauty and meaning. Each of these actions adds to the story of the world, sometimes in small ways, sometimes in ways that reach many people. The promise of a better future comes from these efforts, joined together by millions and millions of humans, even if they never meet. Many people try to live kindly, respect the world around them, and help whenever they can. They protect trees, keep water clean, and take care of animals. They treat neighbors with fairness and try to solve arguments with talk, not anger. When disasters strike, people often come together to rebuild, to share food, and to give comfort. Every day, the news shows both sad events and stories of hope, hard work, and courage. These moments are woven through the signals that leave Earth and spread into the universe. Schools play a very important part in building the future. Teachers show children how to read, write, and use numbers. They teach about history, science, and the world's many cultures. They encourage kindness, teamwork, and curiosity. In every classroom, children learn not just what to know, but how to care about others and the planet around them. This learning is one of the strongest tools for making sure people grow wiser with each new generation. Every person learns from mistakes. People, families, and even whole countries have hard times. But these struggles help everyone see what needs to change. Asking questions, working together, and listening carefully are ways that people find better answers. When children see adults acting with care, they learn to do the same. When people talk openly about problems, they become easier to solve. Many people wonder if searching for life in the universe is worth the effort, even if there has been no reply yet. Scientists, students, and dreamers say yes because the search brings humans together. By looking to the stars, people ask big questions. Who are we? Where did we come from? What can we do to protect our world? What kind of friends do we want to be if someone is listening on another planet? Even without a clear answer from space, these questions make life on Earth better. Finding new planets, learning about stars, and sending messages into space help everyone remember that the universe is very big and that Earth is special. The blue planet is full of life, beauty, and wonder. If people want to be good neighbors now and in the future, they must protect what they have. That means looking after air, water, land, plants, and animals, and making sure all people have what they need to live safely and well. Helping others, learning every day, and working for peace are important steps in growing as a species. When nations work together to solve big problems like hunger, pollution, or sickness, it shows that strong friendships can build a better world. By sharing ideas, tools, and dreams, humans can reach new heights, sometimes even going beyond the sky and into space. Even when things are difficult, working as a team makes new solutions possible. Acts of care and hope, big or small, have power. They show aliens, if they are watching, that humans are trying. Every time someone saves an animal, shares food, helps a stranger, or fixes something broken, the world becomes a little softer and stronger. Every story of peace, rescue, or kindness is added to the waves moving toward the stars. These actions are a message that humans are learning and can grow. Even as humans try to make themselves better, it is important to remember that nobody is perfect. Every person can do more, and every mistake is a chance to learn. Leaders, teachers, children, and parents all matter. Everyone can say sorry, change their mind, or stand up for what is right. This is not always easy, but it is the path to becoming wiser over time. As people become more careful with the planet, they also start to build new tools and ways of living. Many cities are using less energy, keeping the air clean and growing more plants and trees. Solar panels, windmills, and new kinds of engines help to use cleaner energy. These changes protect animals and keep water safe to drink. People who learn to share, to use less, and to give back are building a planet that could last for many thousands of years. Art, music, and stories help carry people's hopes and dreams into the future. When people paint, sing, write poems, or dance, they share joy, sadness, questions, and answers. Art brings people together and can heal hearts that hurt. It can also teach lessons and imagine new ways to live. These creations show that humans are full of ideas and can dream beyond what already exists. In every place on Earth, children dream of going far, learning new things, and helping others. These dreams matter. When children see stars at night and ask about what is out there, they are really asking how the future could be better and what part they can play in it. Encouraging these dreams is important for the well-being of the whole planet. Learning from the past helps people avoid repeating mistakes. History is full of stories of war, sadness, and darkness, but also moments of bravery, healing, and hope. Remembering these lessons helps humans choose peace, kindness, and truth as the foundation for the world's next steps. People around the world know that friendship is important. True friends listen, forgive mistakes, help in hard times, and share what they have. If humans keep building more friendships between neighbors and between nations, the world will be a better place. These friendships can become strong chains that hold the world together, even when storms come. Science and technology will continue to grow. New tools will help find answers to old questions about health, the universe, and how to care for one another. More people may go into space, discover new planets, or even invent better ways to talk and travel. This progress must always be used with care, so it helps everyone instead of only a few. Sometimes change is slow. It is easy to become impatient when waiting for answers, for peace, or for kindness to win. But every small change builds toward a larger good. Each step, even if it is only a little one, is important. The journey matters just as much as the goal. If people fear what is unknown, they must remember that curiosity and hope are stronger than fear. By keeping hearts open, asking questions, and choosing kindness, humans become readier for whatever the future brings. The biggest risk is to stop asking, to stop dreaming, or to give up searching for new friends and better days. As more signals leave Earth, anyone watching from space can see a story full of questions, mistakes, dreams, love, and effort. This story is not just one chapter, but a book that is always being written, line by line, by every person living. If aliens are listening, they will know that real change takes time, but also that people are able to grow in heart and mind. The universe is wide, full of places and chances. Earth is only one planet, but every story from here is special. Every time people try, hope, or forgive, they become more ready for the mystery and joy in the space beyond their sky. The future is not written yet. Every person has a part in shaping it. Each act of kindness, every lesson learned, and each dream spoken aloud builds a stronger world. Searching the sky, sharing with friends, and caring for the planet are ways to make sure the next chapter will be full of hope. If a day comes when humans are ready, and aliens are ready too, contact can be a great adventure. It can bring new knowledge, new friendships, and the chance to discover more about the universe and about themselves. Until that day, it is wise to keep searching, to listen for answers, and to become as kind and careful as possible. Working for peace, protecting Earth, and helping each other are the best steps forward. As people learn to live without fear, to use their knowledge for good, and to grow in wisdom, they become the kind of civilization that others in the universe would want to meet. All this effort, every day, brings people closer to their own best future. The waves of sound, music, and data move out into the stars, never stopping. Each one carries a small piece of Earth, its worries, joys, and the hope that another voice will one day answer. As long as humans continue to look up, to care, and to try, the universe will be full of possibilities, waiting for the day when a new friendship is born. This is the message Earth shares with the stars, and the hope that guides every step toward the future. Kindness, wisdom, learning, and hope. These are the gifts people can offer to each other and to anyone who may finally answer from the wide and endless universe.